Welcome, chamber music fans. I'm here with Efim Boyko from the Fine Arts Quartet. Fima, thank you so much for joining us today. We're very excited to have you come back to Austin. I think it's been maybe 6 or 7 years that the quartet was back in Austin, and you were here during the regular season. And the concert was so beautiful, and I've been trying to get you guys to come back for a number of years. But you're always busy in the summertime because you're almost always in Europe. What kind of touring schedule are you guys keeping these days?
Well, it's interesting, because many groups they're traveling most of the time during the year, and not so much in the summer. So Fine Arts Quartet, for some reason, from the beginning, when I remember, I came in, we are traveling more in summertime and not so much in wintertime, What is actually nicer because of the weather, and the Europe festivals, it's a lot of festivals in Europe, it's during the summertime.
Yeah, but it means that you have to brave the colds of Milwaukee in the wintertime, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't see weather too much, to be honest. We are so busy. For me, weather it's not a great problems. Let's put it this way.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Fine Arts Quartet has been together in some form or fashion for 66 years. And honestly, I'm sure there are some quartets that have been together that long, but I don't really know of them. And I think that that's just an amazing sort of feat of nature that the quartet has been able to stay together as a quartet. And what do you think it is about the legacy of the Fine Arts Quartet that has made it continue since 1946? Why have people been committed to that? Because, players, quartets will start and then they'll dissolve if one person leaves or if two people leave. And even a great group like the Tokyo String Quartet who have announced retirement, the Cleveland Quartet who went through retirement. What do you think it is about the Fine Arts Quartet that makes it want to continue?
Well, obviously, music is talking to us, musical ideas of Fine Arts Quartet from the beginning to start with, I was actually amazed to see American group, to perform and to produce a very special sound of Fine Arts Quartet, I know this quartet from about maybe 40 years ago. I remember, I'm here 29 years, but I remember in Europe was watching and listening to this quartet performing all over the place in Europe, and I remember saying to myself, "Look, this is one group not sounding exactly like American quartet." What I mean by that, it means means American quartet is not very good. They're fantastic, yeah, I have to say, but the style of performing of classical European composers, it's so much closer to the sound of Europe, what I absolutely adore. And this is how I came actually to quartet from Europe, and because I really do like the special sound what they can produce.
Can you talk more about that? Because I don't know that our audiences completely understand, and I would love to have you just chat more about what those kind of differences are and how that affects the repertoire and the sound.
Well, the repertoire is probably the same, because we are starting with classical repertoire like Haydn and Mozart and Schubert and stuff like that, and then we are going to romantic music. I think the all groups they're playing most of the time, most of the groups they're playing the same repertoire actually, but the sound, it's, I will explain to you a little bit, more about that, when we are coming back to beginning of 20th century, when you're starting with the big school of hour, for example, with Heifetz and Milstein and Misha Elman, all this Chrysler, for example, this is unbelievable school of a very special sound, So over the years in the United States, in what I'm calling a new country, for the world, it's become to be a fantastic technical abilities of players, but in a way, the sound, it's a little bit changed, in a way of powerful maybe sound, or if you want to know, maybe a little bit aggressive even once in a while. What it's good or bad, it's up to the public to discuss, but for me, European sound, it's mean more maybe lyrical, sensitive, more espressivo. For me, every note it has to be done espressivo with vibrato, and so on, so on, so on. I don't like this new ideas of a forcing sound. Just an example. So this is how I feel. Fine Arts Quartet, they really tried to maintain and this type of a sound. And I have to say, even our quartet, the second generation of the Fine Arts Quartet from 1980s in the beginning, when first who came from Europe, it was Wolfgang Laufer, in 1979. I arrived in 1983, the last one who joined the quartet. I felt we even more tried to produce kind of European, so-called, if I can, sound, So it's amazing, how we could maintain this. Yeah. This is how I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just that sort of epitome of elegance that the Fine Arts Quartet really, epitomizes. And you and Ralph have been in the quartet for, you said 29 years, so almost 30 years. Right. And you've had a new violist and new cellist in the last 3 or so years. So how has that experience been for you? Finding new players, and then, shall we say, breaking them in. Yeah. So to kind of preserve the idea of sound, obviously sound changes when someone new comes into the group, but how is that process in creating a new sound while preserving that idea that is so akin to the Fine Arts Quartet?
Well, we started with viola, it took us quite a bit of a process, to find a viola player. And we did it, actually, it took us about 2-3 years, to find finally the violist what we would like to play, like today, Nicolo Eugelmi, actually Nicolo Eugelmi, I'm still practicing to pronounce correctly his name, yeah, because he's a Canadian, wonderful musician, and his father is Italian and his mother is a German born lady. So what I'm saying, he's a wonderful player, and to produce a new violist in the quartet took us quite a bit of time, and it was a big competition, But I was listening to his YouTube, with the Brahms sonata. And then I remember Ralph Evans called me and he said, "Did you listen to this YouTube?" And I said, "Yes, of course." And he said, "What do you think about this sound, for example, So we called him up, and we asked him to come for a competition, He's a wonderful player, and his sound, it's kind of how we are going through this process also with the cellist, with Robert Cohen, He's an absolutely wonderful musician and actually a soloist with a big career, and we are lucky to have this type of a performer in our quartet. So his idea to play chamber music, it's very close to our idea. So what I'm trying to say, we are trying to find musicians with close most of the time, because many musicians with a fantastic technique today, with a level of a very great technique, string players, but not very often you can find the sound what it can be correct for our group, So we are very lucky to have group right now with Nicolo and Robert.
Yeah, what an adventure in looking for people, because you are looking for a very specific thing, but of course always open to possibilities. In some ways, I feel like when we're looking for the ideal chamber music partner, in some ways we know what we're looking for, but in other ways we don't know what we're looking for until we find it. And it's when we hear that sound, like you say, when you heard that YouTube video, that all of a sudden you knew that could be the right match.
Yes, we are very lucky, and I have to tell you, now we are playing already so many pieces together, because it's very difficult to put in with new personalities, with fine arts quartet repertoire, because I don't know if I know one quartet who is playing so many pieces as fine arts quartet. You know, this is incredible, you know, amount of pieces what we are going through one season.
Yeah.
You know, and this is what it's difficult. It's so fast to put new personalities, you know, to our music, you know, into our repertoire. But they're very good and very fast and really. But it's just the level of the musicians what it's talking about, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I love that you go through a lot of repertoire too, because things have a kind of freshness to it too. I think that there are probably some quartets or some groups in general that they will tour with one or maybe two programs for the entire year, and while there can be one can achieve more and more a certain amount of perfection when one does that, and maybe less stress, I think there's something very exciting about being able to hold a lot of repertoire, because all of that repertoire kind of spins in our head and it informs the way we play many kinds of music. And I think that there's something to be said about that, the amount of music that we hold in our head.
Yes, you know, it's interesting. You know, I don't remember one tour to go to Europe to play concerts less as 20 pieces.
Wow.
It's not one or two programs. We are very flexible. You know, when somebody, a sponsor, is calling us and they're asking, "Oh, let's play a Schumann quartet," you know. But it's a difficult quartet for 55 minutes a piece. You know, we are spending about 5 minutes. It takes us to say, "Oh, okay, let's go and let's do it." You know? It's not a big deal. You know, let's practice a little more. You know, and stuff like that. You know, and we are doing all the time stuff like that. I will give you an example. We just recorded a fantastic record. It's an interesting recording, you know, we did with famous violinist composers like Kreisler. Obviously, everybody knows this piece. What about a French cymbalist, you know, for example? He composed one quartet. I even didn't know he composed a quartet, you know, and he's a famous musician, you know, famous violinist. So we decided to see what kind of a piece this, you know. It's a wonderful, extremely fine, lyrical, romantic piece, you know, was really composed, and nobody played this, you know. So we kind of one of the group who first performed these pieces, you know. So I'm very proud of my quartet, you know, because we did this piece. It's a very difficult piece and very beautiful, you know. So now when we are sending programs to sponsors, you know, so they like to hear these pieces, you know. So we are trying to find pieces what people don't play. Like, for example, in the same record, we did the Isaïe Harmonie du Soir, you know. This is an incredible, beautiful little piece, you know, for about 14 minutes with chamber orchestra. So we recorded with a German orchestra, you know, about a year ago. Now we have the record, and it's a gorgeous piece, you know. Obviously, it's very difficult to put in the program because you need an orchestra, you know, a string orchestra and stuff like that. But beautiful pieces, you know. So Fine Arts Quartet, and especially Ralph Evans, you know, he is the first one, you know, to go to libraries and to find the nice music, you know.
And it's great to introduce audiences to new music that they're going to love, because there's something really satisfying about that, because audiences tend to be a little bit nervous about things that they don't know. So it's nice when you can give them something they don't know, but something that you know that they will absolutely enjoy. But on the program that you're bringing to Austin, I'm happy to say that I think people are going to recognize pieces quite well. You're doing some Haydn and Schumann, and then of course we're doing the Dvorak Piano Quintet, which right now I think it's my favorite piano quintet. You know, my favorite piano quintet is always the one that I'm working on. So
sure, you know, we are recording and we are playing a lot of piano quintets. Yeah. I'll give you an example, like two quintets by Fauré.
Yes.
It's a new music, actually, you know. People don't know this music, you know. And sometimes we just performed Fauré quintet 2 days ago. And some people liked it, and some people said, "What kind of music is this?" You know, it's a modern kind of a piece. And actually, this is quite classical, to be
Yes.
honest, you know, romantic and classical. But people don't know because so many pieces, you know, still has to be performed and to prove to the audience, you know. And so, but Dvorak, obviously, for me, also one of the fantastic, probably one of the best piano quintets.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think just the combination of the string quartet with piano, I think it's perfection. I don't know if there's anything really.
I'm looking forward, you know, to play with you there.
I know it's going to be a lot of fun, and Austin cannot wait to have you guys come back. It's just going to be terrific. I'm so glad that we could work out having you at the festival. And we're just going to have a lot of fun. I know that you're coming from Canada. You're coming from Ottawa, the Ottawa Chamber Music Festival, I think.
Yes, we are playing 2 programs there, you know.
Yeah.
One it was actually with Menachem Pressler, you know, what it's a legend, a pianist, you know,
Absolutely.
in chamber music world.
Yes.
So he's 88 years old, you know, and when he's running to the piano, you know, we are following him quite slowly, you know.
Yes, well, he was going to come to play the program with you, but then he realized that there was a conflict with his schedule. So I'll get him back again, but 88, I know he has more energy than, you know, people who are 80. I'm
planning to do with him 90 years birthday, you know, a little tour in Europe, you know. Nice. I hope he will be in the same shape.
Yeah.
We can do it 90 years. Maybe then we can come to Austin also to play together.
Yes, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. So, well, anyway, I'm going to let you go, Fima. It's been wonderful chatting with you. Thank you so much for taking out the time to be with us all.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. I really look forward to come to you back, you know, to this festival, you know, and it's not far away, you know, so we will be very soon.
I know, it'll be very soon. So you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
All the best, yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye now.